and skin protection, or some type of respiratory and skin protection, it's 100 and some odd degrees. And they told us all you need is exam gloves for your medical personnel and a surgical mask. Well, as everybody that's worked in the medical field knows, that a surgical mask is good for spit and not much else. Now, uranium oxides are submicron in size, which means that we're seeing some the size of marbles and sizes going down to submicron. And now a submicron, 1 micron is 10 to the minus 10th meters. This is atomic scale. And we're sucking this in. And the troops are sucking this in, and they're getting sick. Now, as the health physicist and responsible for the theater, I went to the medical commanders and said, you got to provide medical care for all of the DU-friendly fire casualties immediately. We need a radio bioassay, which consists of nasal and pharyngeal swab. You reach in the back of the throat with a Q-tip, and you find out they sucked in any uranium in. You collect their urine to find out if it was collected in, they're passing it out. You collect their feces to find out if they're passing it out. But you need to do it right away, because in order to get heavy metal to poison, now uranium immediately starts out, your primary problem is heavy metal, not the radiological components. It's the heavy metal components. So we need to do chelation just like you do for lead poisoning, but it has to be done rapidly.
So you gotta, when you breathe that stuff in on a micron scale, you gotta Q-tip the back of the throat through the nasal passage, but you've also got to keep an eye on feces and urine samples, like, let's say, sewage detection programs, perhaps. I mean, it all sounds extremely familiar, doesn't it? Keep listening.
Because of a thing called bio-half-life. And a bio-half-life is where the uranium then goes into sequestering in the to the bodies, or it passes out through the urine, and you'll never find it.